Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Friday version of Harmonize, 2Energize. My name is Terry Matthews. I work at the Jin Shin Jyutsu office in Scottsdale, Arizona, but today I'm coming from my home because it's the 2-day holiday, started with yesterday, Thanksgiving in America. So thank you, all of you, for joining me wherever you are. And for all the new people, particular warm welcome. We're very grateful that we can discuss and share practices of the art of Jin Shin Jyutsu. And for new people, it's an art of harmonizing life energy through the body. And life energy is sometimes called chi or ki. And it moves through the body in tributaries or energy pathways, left and right of the spine and through the arms. And we're able to facilitate the movement of energy through these pathways by connecting to what we call in Jin Shin Jyutsu safety energy locks. When these locks are blocked, our being is in disharmony. When they're open, energy can flow and we can be more harmonious in all aspects of our life. So today, usually on a Friday, I spend time, or most recently anyway, helping us share and look at practices for different projects or labels, you might say, whether it be indigestion issues, stomach issues, eyes, what have you. Well, today I want to actually focus on safety energy lock number 13. We've already mentioned Thanksgiving here in America, and I'm sure many of you practice one form or another of gratitude. And safety energy lock number 13, where it sits left and right on the nipple area, on the breast area, bust line, and also the center 13, basically is helping us give the message of an open and pure heart. A couple of weeks ago, I was a guest presenter on Kelly Mount's self-help workshops by Zoom, which probably many of you participate in. And it was the actual anniversary of instructor Ian Harris's passing. And way back in 2020 when he did, I actually, in that week, was going to present on Safety Energy Lock number 13, but under the understanding of fertility and love thy enemies. It was only when I looked at this book, which is the Tarot by Paul Foster Case, which Mary used as a reference, that I realized love thy enemies had other meanings. And in this case, Safety Energy Lock 13 in the Tarot, pronounced noon, actually had the proclamation or the understanding of transformation or death. And I'm like, I leapt back, and this was kind of serendipity. But now I also have a personal connection with this process of transformation, as my own mother passed on the 21st of November. Ian was born during the time of the astrological sign of Scorpio and passed in that time. I think it's October the 21st and November the 21st. And my mother indeed passed on November the 21st, the final phase of the sun sign of Scorpio, which has a relationship, to those of you that know astrology, to the 8th house, the house of transformation or death. So let's just quickly look at Safety Energy Lock number 13 and just share what that perhaps really meant when Mary was talking about fertility and love thy enemies. So let's have a look at the slides. So there it is, Safety Energy Lock number 13. You can see the position. 13 came into the universe meaning fertility, love your enemies. So briefly, the fertility aspect is, my understanding, is to do with the movement of the kidney energy pathway as it moves up through the 13, left and right, and enters the heart. And the heart then helps harmonize what is known as the kidney fire and the kidney water aspect of the kidney essence to support menstruation, fertility, all the reproductive juices. So we can leave that there on the fertility level. Love thy enemies, well, or love your enemies. Paul Foster Case says on page 146 of his book on the Tarot, the Bible says death is the last enemy to be overcome. But how? Overcome evil with good. Love your enemies. In these two brief sentences is the whole secret. The forces of change which result in physical death are inimical only because we misunderstand and fear them. They are forces connected with reproduction, and by right use of imagination, they can be tamed and transformed so that they can be utilized for indefinite prolongation of the physical existence. Well, I'm not going to go into all the aspects of where he was going there, but for those of you that are familiar with yoga, you may have understood the idea of Kundalini, which in Jin Shin Jyutsu terms could be said to be the left and right supervisor, which spiral themselves around the spine, bringing energy down from the kidney essence. And as they clean left and right sides of the spine, they can prolong life. But let me take that just one stage further before we do our practices. In a period of my life many moons ago, I experienced what it means or what it feels like to leave your body after a car accident. And, you know, you've probably heard many experiences of near death, so I'll keep it short. But what I realized was that in the understanding of what a lot of people have, and that's why a lot of them fear it, they fear perhaps how they may change and transform and what happens next, and there's all different kinds of views on it. Well, I can tell you from my experience that it was perfectly painless, pain-free, and I know my mother passed in her sleep, and I'm assuming that was fairly pain-free. We don't know, we'll find out. And I was still the me that I can see now, except I was a light being. I was no longer that material form. I looked like just a shimmering light, but it was me. So at that point, I realized, or at least I reflected afterwards, that I was neither born and I will never, in the strictest sense of the word, leave forever. There is an infinite energy which travels with us all the time, is within us, we're in it, and we can get that understanding through different understandings of philosophy and experiences in life. So I'm very grateful for those experiences, and gratitude is a wisdom of the heart as much as the art of compassion, which is Jin Shin Jyutsu, is a wisdom of the heart. So let's now look at Safety Energy Lock number 13 practices which will help us open our hearts much more and reduce our fear of transformation, because to me, the death word actually describes transformation. And when you say the word transformation, where do you feel it? I know I feel a vibration in my heart. It's a very different quality to when I say death, which kind of sends you down to the reproductive area. It certainly does in me, which is that kidney flow that we talked about. And guess what? There are two fingers that we can hold when we want to balance Safety Energy Lock number 13. Index, balancing kidney, bladder, and little finger, balancing heart, small intestine. So for those of you that are new, what I like to do is I practice 4 sets of 9 breaths And a breath in Jin Shin Jyutsu is an exhalation plus an inhalation. And we breathe out from the back of our head, safety energy lock 4, through our hip line, the waistline, below the waistline here, hip line, the safety energy lock 15, through to our big toes, which is safety energy lock 7. Perfect life power, victory, perfect life power. We've moved energy down the front of our body, and then we receive the breath, which, by the way, is also composed of light, from the big toe up through the 15 and 2 of the hip line back to the 4. And we're going to do that 9 times. I love to do it more than 9. Anyway, so sit up straight, put a cush behind you if you need back support. And just make a choice here. You can hold your index or you can hold your little finger. Examine. Detect which finger, left or right, maybe needs the help. Left encourages exhale, right encourages inhale. When you've decided, hold that finger, and you can hold the complete finger, or you can hold the segments because they represent top one, hip line, middle, bus line, bus line, waistline, hip line. From the top, bus line, waistline, hip line. So just relax, sit up straight, close your eyes, turn your cell phones off, computers off. Keep your feet firmly flat on the ground. Exhale, drop your shoulders, and allow what you don't need to move down through your body, head to toe, skin to bone, and then receive the breath on the inhale. And that's 1. No particular way of breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, whatever comes natural to you. Second one. And when you reach the 9th exhalation, inhalation, just slip into what I call the neutral zone, or the 9th space, 9th depth, the no thing, the nothing, and just observe. Be the witness to where you be at this particular moment. And then on the supervisor level in relation to the hand, safety energy lock number 13 actually finds itself at home on the middle finger. So guess what? If you really wanted to go to town with your heart, you could hold index, middle, and little. Yeah. 3. Anyway, we're going to hold left or right middle finger. Again, examine, make a choice. And then let us begin the second set. Exhalation, inhalation, 9 times. Here we go. And again, when you reach the 9th exhalation, inhalation, just sit quietly and be the observer. Just observe how you're feeling, where you're feeling, if you're feeling. No judgment. Just observe. "18 breaths ago, I predict you were a different person." Okay. The third practice, upper arms, otherwise known as the high 19, just above the elbow joint here on the bicep muscle, upper arm muscles. In line with the 13, you can see as you fold your arms, it's going to be in line with the nipple area. And you can hold both together, or if it's uncomfortable, just hold one and then place the other one on your leg, on the upper part of your leg, high one, hip line, wherever you're comfortable. And then we'll begin 9 exhalations, inhalations. Here we go. So as we're breathing out, the energy of exhalation moving down the front of the body, from the head through the hip line to the toes, letting go of some of those fears and receiving some of that joy and wonder, that creative force, that gratitude, that compassion, that light. Fear, as Mary said, was false evidence appearing real. I think that was very accurate. Our mind can create scenarios of experiences which may or may never happen to us. Rest in the light. That contains the greatest harmony, I believe. All right. So the final practice is going to be hug yourself, thank yourself, be grateful, and I thank you for being here, joining us, because together, collectively, we're creating an energetic field which helps us harmonize. So folks who are new, my thumbs are under my shoulder girdle and my fingers are on the side of the shoulder blade here. Again, if that's uncomfortable, one hand and then the other hand on the upper thigh area, high one. And just breathe out and give thanks for everything. It sometimes takes us a while to do that, but when we release and let go and practice enough, it becomes pretty much second nature. Experiment. Breathe out. And in. And then 9 more times. Thank you for life that goes on and on and on and on. Yeah. The life force, the eternal light force, the oneness, that which we live, walk, and have our being, I believe. And as you come to that 9th exhalation, inhalation, see how you're feeling, where you're feeling. How are you in your heart today? And it's a useful place to always connect to, no matter what. And I particularly want to thank those of you that know me on Facebook for all the wonderful comments that I received after my mother's passing. For those of you that haven't seen it, it was very beautiful. And to be honest, it was one of the finest pictures I'd seen of my mother most recently, 2 weeks before she passed, in her favorite color, red. Just like her son. When I was a lot younger, she would say to me, I want to knit you a pullover, jumper, sweater. What color would you like? Red. What shirt would you like? Red. What shoes would you like? Red. Yeah. So that was it. Anyway, at this point, I normally like to tell you what's going on in the Jin Shin Jyutsu world. So let's have a quick look. Let's turn the screen share on. So, Living the Art with Mona Harris, beginning December the 2nd. This is the class which, if you have your 3 5-day classes, or if you don't, you have to wait to get a certificate. This is where you can get some more insight into the 3 self-help books and get a certificate to say that you are a certified teacher of self-help. Mona's very experienced. She was a Living the Art instructor for many years before they combined with the 5-day instructors. So she had a lot of wealth of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. All the information is there. So yeah, the new student prerequisite, at least 2 5-day, and the review, 1 Living the Art. There's your dates, CEUs available, certificates, and then your organizer is Kelly Mount, and there's all your information, where to register. And you get a replay. Also on December the 2nd, an online basic seminar begins with Sarah. And this is for those of you who want to study and practice Jin Shin Jyutsu, maybe as your art of living and your, if you like, career, your work. And also for those who just want to expand their knowledge more. So all the dates are here, all the information, and you can register today clicking on the button. And then if you've missed any classes, you can click on any of these links, and all the previous classes are there available as replays. So, there you are. And there was a question I saw there from Mickey. I think you meant when we were doing the high ones. I'm sure you meant that. It's the same side. However, if you chose to go to the opposite, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's invoking the mediator. Same side is invoking the supervisor, the parallel motion left or right side of the body. So it's your choice. But I actually meant same side on that occasion. So here we are, 12:26. thank you, everybody. Gosh, I think this is the earliest I've ever finished. So thank you, everybody. Again, transformation is happening all over. Number 13 is all about transformation, and the Jin Shin Jyutsu office is transforming. In a few weeks, it will no longer be where it's always been in Scottsdale. It will be split between myself and one of the directors working from home. And there'll be a new address which will be available to one and all. We will still have the same telephone numbers, and we will still have a store, but the bricks and mortar becomes one of the directors' houses and my house. So, without further ado, thank you all again. Next Wednesday, I will be sharing the Wednesday version. We'll have a mystery guest. So come on, you never know who it's going to be, instructor, practitioner, whoever, sharing their inspiring stories of Jin Shin Jyutsu in their practice. And if you want to join that and come on and share with us, it's info@jsjinc.com. I know some people get confused because the website is .net, but the emails, most of you will probably know, are .coms. So info@jsjinc.com. Drop yours truly a line if you want to share some of your inspiring stories. And we're always grateful for that. We learn a lot, people from all the way around the world. And last Wednesday, we had Marta Benani Paris from, not Paris, but from Spain. Calanado, I think she said, or Calanades in Spain. Anyway, it was a beautiful presentation. The replay should be available. If not, I will mention to Ali and we'll get it up there. And that's the same of today. There will be a replay within at least 48 hours. But Ali, bless him, he's a busy man. But he does great service. I'm very grateful to Ali. And so with a big thank you to him and a big thank you to you and a big thank you to Safety Engine Lock 13 and the universe and the light which pervades all and every being. And thank you, my mother. Thank you, Ian. Thank you to all of us that experience this journey, as Prince once said, this thing that we call life. Take care, everyone. I'll see you soon.